Hello, hello, hello. Good afternoon, everybody. Jenny Stevens, welcome. Happy Monday. It's peeing down with rain here in England. The snow is now all gone. My poor little snowman Olaf has now gone. Today, I want to do this training and really just share with you a few tips with really to help you understand what it is that your prospects want and why do they want it now. So the reason for doing this, I've just been listening, so I've just done my food shopping, and I always put on a podcast training in the car. Like now that I don't get out quite so much, now I don't work full time, in the car is my kind of time where I can put on a podcast and listen to some, have some kind of personal development. So I love listening to Digital Marketers podcast or anything that's just going to help me. And I've been listening to one that's been talking about using Messenger, specifically kind of. There's, with the whole changes with Facebook's, you've seen it all about the algorithms, but it's not actually stuff that's changed. But I just made a load of notes because actually I got a couple of sort of realizations and I wanted to share those with you today, actually about the psyche and what goes on in people's minds that's really going to help you be a better marketer, that's going to help you then, which will then in turn make your prospects and your customers really feel like they're listened to, and then in turn is going to help you in your business. So if you're here live, then just make sure that you say hello and let me know where you're watching from around the world. I have such a diverse kind of following of people. I love to be able to just see where you are around the world. So just make sure you pop in, say hello in the comments below and let me know where you're watching from. So if this is the first time that you're seeing me, then my name is Jenny Stevens. Welcome. I'm here in the UK and I help network marketers, direct sellers, affiliate marketers learn how to build their business specifically using online methods, bringing their business online and being able to utilize, putting systems into place so it means you're not chained to your business and your business can really run for you, so you can just be able to get better results with getting more leads, sales, and teammates. So, okay, let's kind of just dive into this because, so as I said, I was listening to this really great training and it was talking about how more companies and brands and stuff are using Facebook Messenger to really be able to interact with their customers. There's tools that can be like a chat bot, which I've used a bit of, and they're really just talking about how some people really get it wrong and how you can really think about what is it, how to use it effectively so that people don't just feel like they're just being sold to. So they were talking loads about, say, obviously all the changes that Facebook have made recently, which may have affected you if you've been using Facebook for your business, that they don't like, this kind of comment baiting with people, saying, I've done it. It was a strategy that was working. It was great in terms of, saying, getting people to comment yes, and I'll send you a freebie kind of thing. They don't like that so much. But there was one really big sort of statement that they talked about in this training, which is kind of like my title of this video. And it was really that it was saying about, apparently Facebook have this painting or something in the background of their office that said, don't mistake movement for progress. And I thought, okay, I've seen that before. I think I've seen people, post it as a quote and stuff. And so the guy that was on this podcast, he was sort of like the guest of it. He made this great point that we're kind of taught as marketers, or we're kind of taught that, we need to be solving people's problems. And that's definitely something that I have been taught, is that, you need to start becoming a problem solver and really start helping people and helping solve their problems. And when, and that's coming from a place where, especially the majority of network marketers are kind of taught to just, do posts on Facebook, talk to anybody and everybody. I used to do these kind of graphics of products and stuff all the time. And I actually want to come from a place of serving people and really providing value and sort of solving problems. But then this statement about progress was actually then like another level. And so this guy, I can't remember what his name was, but he said that's not entirely the best way to look at it in terms of being a problem solver. What you really want to do is, or should I say, what your prospects want. They don't necessarily just want their problems solved, because not everybody has serious problems that they need solving. People want progress. So that's what we kind of need to now make that little, you know, so if you've, I mean, I have been, you know, teaching people, saying, you know, you need to solve problems, and yes, we need to do that. But the other thing that's probably going to make it easier and how you're going to be able to connect better is think about the progress that people want. So I've kind of got a few examples for you and a few tips with kind of really how you can do this. So like I say, so people don't necessarily want their problems solved, but it's about progress. So there's kind of 3 tips, 3 things that you really need to do in order to be able to do this, you know, to be able to make it effective, to be able to really help your prospects. I'm just going to put my light on quickly as it's getting a little bit dark now. Ooh. Oh, wow, that's a bit, there we go, that's better. It's just starting to get dark. So number 1 is you really need to understand your audience. So we talked a lot. I did a big training last week on empathy mapping. So go back and look at my videos and you'll be able to see that. Or you can go to my blog, JennyStevensCoaching.com, and I've just actually turned it into a blog post with the replay all in there. But basically, this really will help you understand your audience. So that's the first thing that you need to do. So to be able to help people get progress is you need to understand your audience. Who are they? What are they looking for? What does their day look like? What, you know, what are their frustrations and stuff like that. Number 2 is you need to actually then ask questions. So you need to be proactive and actually ask people questions, because everybody's different, you know. And I'm going to go into this a little bit more in a second, but you need to ask the right questions to really get a feel for where people are. And then number 3 is then you can then offer something that can help that. And that's where that kind of problem solving comes in, is, you know, when you're having conversations with, you know, with prospects, with potential leads, you know, you want to be finding out why they're interested. You want to find out what's made them maybe comment on your post, or maybe send you a message, or, you know, if they've whatever, you want to find out, you know, what's driving that, where are they, what's going on with them, and then you can then offer them something that can then help them, which is where your product or your opportunity comes in. So some kind of examples I'm just going to take you through. So they were talking about examples sort of like in the fitness, you know, so maybe you're selling kind of nutritional supplements and something like that. So have a think about, you know, what's going on in people's minds. As I said, you know, not everybody is looking for, you know, massive problems to be solved. It could be that somebody just saw themselves in a photo, or, you know, I mean, like for me, I see myself on videos sometimes, you know, a lot, obviously. So, you know, maybe it could be that somebody saw themselves in a video, on a photo, you know, and they thought, oh my God, I look really fat in that photo. I need to do something about this. You know, I don't like the way I look. So they want to then, you know, maybe that's when they start looking for something that can maybe help them. So it's not like they're massively morbidly obese, but they just looked at maybe a photo and thought, oh God, I do it all the time. I think, oh wow, look at these chins, you know. So that's just, you know, so these are kind of things you just want to be sort of putting yourself in their mind with, you know, what are the different scenarios that maybe make people want to start looking into something now? What's happened? Is there an event coming up? You know, people, especially women, we like to, if we're going to a wedding or a christening or, you know, a barbecue, or a holiday, we like to look nice, you know, especially in the summer when you're not wearing kind of baggy jumpers, you're wearing, you know, little strappy tops, so you want to feel better and look your best. So it might be that, you know, you've seen photos of, you know, last summer and you looked great and you think, oh my God, I've gained weight, I really want to get back to that, I'm going to start doing something. So then something else, it could be that, you know, maybe a guy has just sort of got to his sort of 30s or mid 30s, maybe the metabolism's starting to slow down, maybe starting to get a little bit of a pot belly when he used to be really fit and could kind of eat loads. Then, you know, now maybe he's starting to Google, you know, 30-second abs, or, you know, look at all these videos about abs and feel like he needs to have abs. You know, it seems to be this big thing for guys that they need to have abs. Who agrees with this, by the way? So, you know, so that is something that that's his kind of trigger, is that he's sort of like, okay, I'm getting on a bit, I feel like I need to be in better shape, I'm letting myself go slightly. I want to be, get back to that. So that person's going to look very different than somebody who, so say maybe there's a mum who's just had twins or just had a baby and just wants to be able to, get back into her skinny jeans, or just wants to be able to wear that nice dress again, and feel like herself again. So the two people, the guy who's, just his metabolism starting to slow down, has got very different reasons than, someone who's just had a baby. So, you can't treat everybody the same. Everybody's going to have different things. So you need to kind of really think about these different people, or pockets of people who are going to be interested in your product. So maybe, obviously, that's kind of a lot about fitness. Something else could be, another example was, there's this kind of status pressure. A lot of people feel like, I know I certainly do, and I'm 35 this year, and I sort of think, God, I thought I'd be in a I thought I'd have a bit more things figured out by now, or I thought I'd be a bit more, settled and stuff at this point in my life, Lots of people feel that way, is, maybe if they're pushing 40, they're thinking, oh God, I should have had, the house and the family and the car and the good paid job by now, and I haven't done it, and now I kind of feel like this, I feel like I should do something, or, people like to have a purpose. They feel like they want to give back and actually have to do something meaningful. So all of these different kinds of things. So when you can kind of actually understand some of these sort of triggers, if you like, or some of these points that's going on in people's minds, you can now have these different conversations, and you can make your message much more specific. So rather than just doing one, if you're doing Facebook ads, for example, rather than necessarily just doing one ad out to everybody, maybe actually do an ad that's asking a question, and then you can get people to comment their answers. And then, then maybe you could go and message them and actually then have a bit more of a, okay, so why were you interested in this, and actually find out what's the reason behind it. So I've been doing a lot about sort of automation stuff. So actually listening to this podcast today was a bit of an eye-opener for me to think, actually, do you know what, you really need to actually understand, if you really want to have those long-term relationships and build those, those better relationships with your customers, with your clients, with your leads, with your customers, whatever, potential teammates, is, you can use things like Messenger, and you can still add in some automation and do lots of things, cool things to add in technology. But for the kind of the main, majority of network marketers, if you're using your personal page, you're using Messenger, then this can be a great thing for you to do, is actually just ask some questions. People want to feel like they're heard. This was another thing that really stood out for me on this podcast, was that they said, people come onto Facebook, and they were talking about the whole kind of, when people like, and the fact that people were sort of felt like, they were almost abusing Facebook's likes and loves and, the things that we do. And they were saying, this isn't owned by the marketer. That like button is for the user. That's their way of, having their voice heard, to say, I'm publicly saying that I like this. I'm kind of endorsing this post or this brand, or, whatever it is that they've seen, by doing that like button. So people like to be heard. And I thought that's a really good way of looking at it. So think about that in terms of, you don't just when people like your post, they are publicly saying that they like it. And this is why social proof is so great, and why you want to get people, use posts that are doing well. It shows that people like it. People like to kind of see if something's really, really popular, then they'll be more inclined to look at it as well. So, so everybody is different. So, you're not necessarily just going to have one thing. So the exercise that I did on Friday, is it Friday? Wednesday? I can't remember when I did it now. My empathy map was, we talked about, really coming up with like a persona, and that is great, but you might end up having a couple. You might have a few different people who, can be your, like your ideal customer, and you might have a couple of different personas. So you might have the mum who's just had a baby, who's looking to get back into her, into her pre-pregnancy jeans. You might have the guy who's just, you know, say he's got to that age where, you know, he's not able to kind of eat what he likes anymore, and his metabolism's slowing down, he's starting to get in that pot belly, and he feels like he needs to get back in shape. You know, you might have somebody who's, you know, maybe got a lot of weight to lose, and, you know, they've struggled all their life, and they really are just tired and fed up of yo-yo dieting. They're tired and they're fed up of people staring at them, or, you know, whatever. So it's really about, but it's about the progress. People like to know, you know, if you can help them, if you have some kind of weight loss thing, if you have some kind of supplement that's going to help people, if you can help people clear up their skin to, you know, build their confidence. Again, think about what's going on in their mind. Again, have they seen a photo that they're like, oh my God, my skin looks awful, and now they're looking to, you know, this, whatever they're doing isn't working, I need to find something else that is working. You know, so, but people like to know that things are progressing. So the kind of saying about don't mistake movement for progress was, you know, you can be moving, you know, say you could be washing up, but really you've got your tax return to do. You know, your tax return is the most important thing. You can actually get somebody to do your washing up, or you could pay somebody to do your ironing. You know, if you're doing that and you're prioritizing that over doing something that you really need to do, that's where the difference between movement and progress really is. So I hope that just kind of helps you see, you know, gives you some ideas about how you can help your prospects, is really help them get progress. So people, not everybody's going to want to change their life and, you know, become a millionaire or lose 100 pounds or, you know, whatever. Some people just want to know, do you know what, I've got on my way. My weight loss is a prime example actually for that. I just thought of it. So I've just finished a 4-week challenge. So, you know, if you've watched any of my videos before, I've talked about the fact I hired a personal trainer. And even that, I was still stuck for ages with my weight. I didn't have this shift in my brain to get the food part really going. So I actually I did a 4-week challenge on an app called Diet Bet. So you basically pay a fee and you basically bet, you know, and all those people that hit their goal in that 4 weeks wins, you know, the pot. The people that don't hit their goal, their proportion goes to the winners. So I thought, you know what, I've seen this, I'm going to do this myself. And tracking my food and having this, you know, 4-week goal has really helped me. And even though, say, you know, I've still got way to go, but I'm not even looking at that. The best thing for me is that progress. I know that I'm on my way. I've lost 8 pounds in the last 4 weeks, which I'm so chuffed with. And I know that that progress is now on its way. You know, I'm moving and I've got the progress, and I feel so much better in myself already just knowing that that progress is happening. So this is what you can do with your prospects, with your customers, you know, is really think about what is it that they want. So ask the questions, understand, you know, your audience in the first place, ask the questions, and then in terms of actually how you then make sales or you can recruit somebody, is then once you find out where they're at, what it is that they're looking for, why they were maybe, why they've commented, why they've reached out to you now, and then you can then offer them something that's going to help them, which is then your product or your opportunity or whatever it is. So I really hope that helped. And Messenger is such a great tool to use. If you want to be able to utilize Messenger, you know, you can do things like three-way messages. You know, it's a bit like the 3-way calls. You can use Messenger. So maybe if you're a bit new and you're not quite confident with having those conversations, you know, in terms of once you're starting to talk about your business or your products, is, you know, you can actually utilize Messenger and have like a 3-way call, but on Messenger and stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a link in the description above this video once I've finished it, and you can go and download these free scripts. So this is to help you take those 3-way calls and turn them into like the 21st century in terms of actually using Messenger, being able to make them more, you know, much more time effective for you, your upline and your prospect. And it might just help you, you know, just kind of get going with being able to have those conversations and utilizing your sponsor or your upline to be able to take that conversation then to your business. You can do the legwork in terms of what I've talked about today. You can be that one that's asking questions. You can be that one that's finding out about them. Or if if you're not even confident doing that, then you can utilize this. So I'll put a link in the comments below after this, and you can just go and click on it. It's completely free. You can go and download it straight away. Or if you would like me to message it to you, then I can do that as well. I'm certainly going to be looking into how I can interact with you more and how I can really find out more about my audience and use Messenger a bit more to really be able to engage with people much more and be able to help you make the progress that you want, you know. So I'm kind of going on this journey with you after just learning about it. So I really hope that this helped. If you found this valuable, then give me some little likes and some hearts. I'd love to be able to know that you found this useful. Feel free to share this video, tag any of your, you know, teammates that you want. And I'd love to know if this helped. You know, I always want to make sure that I'm providing helpful information for you. So anyway, have a fantastic rest of the day. So go and grab that free download. I will say I'll put the link will be in the description and in the comments once I've hit end of this broadcast. Have a fantastic week. It's Monday, and I shall see you all soon. Take care. Bye bye.